Clouds with some hazy sunshine on Wednesday with a few showers possible. Good Tuesday night, East Tennessee. David Aldridge, Captain Accurate here from the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. Well, it was awfully weird today, and I don't mean from the record high, which we'll cover in a moment, but even this morning, there was no consistency. I mean, 41 in Sevierville, but 57 in La Follette. Oh, it's only 16 degrees. What's 16 degrees among communities? What's 16 degrees among friends? It was an 8-degree difference between Oak Ridge and Knoxville, 47, 55. And it was 53 in Crossville. So it did depend on where you were this morning. But if I said dress for the 40s or 50s, would you have expected this morning to be that weird? Well, that's how weird the afternoon got, because we saw a David Copperfield, the disappearing of the clouds. Brought out lots of sunshine. We actually hit a record high, 73 in Knoxville, 73 in Oak Ridge. Those two matched, but they were far apart this morning. It was 71 in Morristown, and they hit 65 in Jamestown. I was expecting a low to mid-60s, and that was assuming we were going to get some clouds, but they went out of the picture pretty quick this morning. The record high, it was a twofer, 1890 and 1986. That's Benjamin Harrison and Ronald Reagan era. Both of them have gone bye-bye. Timber! They're down. They're fallen. They're gone. So we're going to replace it with a 73 from 2025. And it is important to note, because you know I'm a note taker. Ready? Are you ready for this? 82 degrees was what we hit on the 7th of November. You got to go back to November last year. Not only was this day the hottest day of the year, but you go back to Veterans Day. Veterans Day was 73. Today was 73. So it was the warmest day in 85 days. About 2.79 months, but who's counting? And the last time we hit 72 was yesterday. So yesterday, 72. 73 today. Today makes it the warmest day of the year. Warmest day since Veterans Day. Is that now interesting? Fascinating. But the question is, can we keep it going? I don't think so. In fact, temperatures tomorrow should be in the mid-60s. But I digress. We saw highs today at 76. The spirit of 76 in Chattanooga. And they were in the 80s, y'all. 80s in Greenville and Augusta. What in the world? Probably a little taste of spring, a little hint of summer, all rolled up into one day. What an amazing day it was when the clouds broke. And oh yes, it is still 62 at 8 o'clock tonight and 59 in Oak Ridge. A little bit of disparity, not as great as it was this morning, but there is some discrepancies or differences from town to town. Looking at Jamestown at 51, while it's still in the 60s in Knoxville. Clouds are trying to get in here. They'll be slow to increase. Partly cloudy for the evening, more clouds overnight, and I do think we have the potential. 30% chance or less. Emphasis on less for the chance of rain tomorrow. We look at the ultimate Doppler radar. Nothing to see here. There will be an ice storm a few states away. We'll look at that here in a moment. But the ultimate Doppler radar, presented by your local Marco's Pizza, shows nothing at this time. Marcos.com, a great place to grab dinner. That's where I had my dinner at the site. We ordered in. I love it. Hardin Valley, Farragut, Maryville, Fountain City, Halls, Oak Ridge, Middlebrook, Pike, Ebenezer Road. They give back to East Tennessee Children's Hospital. They have a magnificent pizza they call the Magnifico, and it's less than $10. Oh, and I ordered a deluxe. I couldn't resist. Yeah, the deluxe is something special, because when you get the deluxe, you're getting the pepperoni, the Italian sausage, the mushrooms, and the green peppers and onions with the original sauce. Might I add the signature 3 cheeses? You get it all, so check it out. You could do the all meat or the all garden variety, but Marcos.com, the place to go. And if you are interested in where there could be an ice storm, look at the purple areas in the upper right. That would be West Virginia, parts of the mountains up there into parts, I believe, Pennsylvania. We'll look at that here momentarily. A little bit of fog concern still around the panhandle of Florida, but if we slide further north, you'll see that they do have in some spots the purple areas. I'm talking Pennsylvania. Looks like parts of western Maryland. They're all under an ice storm warning, because they're going to be getting significant amounts of mix, meaning like sleet, freezing, rain, real mess. So if you happen to be traveling in these areas, please be extra careful. The purple areas, or I should say the lighter purple, would be referring to, like in central Illinois, to a winter weather advisory. They'll be more likely to get snow here. And of course, you can get all the details on the free Captain Accurate Weather app with Pete Michaels Traffic. So that's the big picture. Still some lightning strikes. What's down in Mexico is also included here, but it is snowing. I do see snow in Montana. It's not like winter's disappeared, but when you've got an ice storm just a few states away, if you have family there, they need to pay attention to that very closely. Now, we've had 4.9 inches of snow in January. Nothing in terms of snow in February. In fact, we haven't had a drop of rain, not yet. And even January came in pretty wimpy, 2.92. The average is 4.76. So we're off to a very dry start this calendar year, but let's hope we make up for lost time, because we did pick up 0.7 inches of snow on the 11th of December, and that brings us to a seasonal total thus far of 5.6. Could we get more? Absolutely. Still think that's possible, but not in the short term. Futurecast shows some raindrops trying to show up overnight here based on these 0.01 inches. This is more like the model trying to figure out the answer, but there is a potential to pick up maybe a tenth of an inch by tomorrow evening. By Thursday, we pick it up a little more, and then on Thursday, a little more here, but no flooding. No flooding concerns when you're talking about amounts that are less than an inch in most locations, spread out over several days. Saturday, by and large, there's maybe 20% chance. Saturday night, better chance of rain, 60% there, and I have a 30% on Sunday, going back to maybe more as we head into Monday and Tuesday. In fact, I suspect we'll have more down the road. But that's the short term, over an inch in many locations. Headlines, a few showers possible tomorrow, not a big deal. Most of us may be dry when it's only a 30% chance. Rain and storms increase, however, tomorrow night. That's going to go up to 80%. So we go from 30 by day, 80% by night, and you'll want the umbrella if you've got night plans at this time tomorrow. Warm with some thunderstorms possible Thursday. I have a 60% chance with an 80% at night, and then eventually it'll give us more sunshine on Friday. Friday may be another peak day of the week, but it's only in the low 60s. Low 60s with bright sun on Friday in the wake of a front. And I know it's very hard to convince some of you that winter isn't gone. It's just on vacation. I mean, you tell people in Billings, Montana at 0 right now, that's a current temperature as of 8 o'clock, tell them that winter's gone. There's no winter, Billings. It's in your head. You're just zero. You're just a big zero. That's what they are, temperature-wise, but they're freezing. I mean, it's 5 in Bismarck. That's actual temperature. It's 12 in Caribou. And wouldn't it be interesting if that all of a sudden starts to cycle back around by the middle of the month? By the time we hit Valentine's Day, by the time we hit President's Day, could we see some changes? I suspect the answer is yes. But even still, negative 12 in Bismarck, that's some brutally cold air, especially if you have to pump gas or fill up your tank in that truck or SUV. By the way, February 4th, here's what's interesting. To watch these colors change, right? We are definitely spiking the football. That's my Super Bowl reference. Warm colors in green all across Knoxville through Friday the 7th. But eventually, some of this cold air that's kind of dancing in place for now will start to change back around. And we'll eventually, I think by the time we get into, the 12th or so, we'll start to see some of this start to ooze back down like so. That's the 11th. There's 12. So you're looking at some colder air down maybe by the 12th, but today's only the 4th. So there's still a lot of time before we start to get colder and we enter the idea of more snow down the road. Storm Prediction Center talking about some colors, maybe not so much as what they had this morning. The darker green areas, centered in Nashville, Bowling Green, would be isolated severe storms tomorrow. And it's really now pretty much out of our viewing area. It was kind of draped over parts of the plateau. Still maybe a little bit, for Jamestown and Crossville, but Lake Tansy and maybe Fairfield Glade are okay. But if you're in Cookville, you'll want to keep an eye on some of those storms that could be a little rough and tumble in isolated spots. Thunderstorms continue on Thursday, covers the entire state of Tennessee. We've got that in the outlook from our friends at the Storm Prediction Center. So here's the Futurecast. There's a warm front that may, and it's hard to trust, a warm front may spawn a few showers tomorrow. I left a 30% chance, but like I said, it could be emphasis on 30% chance or less. 20% for some, 10%. I mean, it's just, there's not a lot of moisture with this little squiggly red line. And if it comes into town, it's going to be moving out of town. I think it'll only pick up tomorrow night. There is more evidence for that to occur like so. So all this moisture from the northwest will kind of converge on us on Thursday. So we've got some rainy weather there. Every drop's going to help because we're still into a drought. If you've seen my blog, my weather timeline from this evening, you'd see the drought monitor picture, and you can also access it on the Captain Accurate Weather app with Pete Michaels Traffic. The fog issue tomorrow may not be that bad as we add more clouds, but there's a hint of it through the foothill Smokies and parts of the plateau. So let's get to the forecast. Tonight, we're expecting low temperatures to drop into the mid-40s. That's where I expect to be. So our tonight forecast has winds that are light. They're going to be variable out of the northeast 0 to 5, but a partly cloudy evening, more clouds late, 46 the low. Normal low is 31. 46 for Maryville, Alcoa, 48, Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, and 44 for Middlesboro, Bell County. Tomorrow, 65 degrees, clouds, hazy sun, few showers, not a huge deal. Southwest winds 0 to 5, and we're up to 70 again for the Southern Valley around Madisonville, Tellico Plains. But you'll be struggling to get to 61, I think, for Wartburg, low 60s for Jamestown, and Oneida come Wednesday afternoon. I got us at 67 in Sevierville. Looking ahead to your Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast for Knoxville and East Tennessee. 68 Thursday, rain showers, and then you'll notice these little thunder icons Wednesday night, Thursday night, Saturday night, which means it's not going to rain most of the day on Saturday. Saturday is not a washout, but there is a potential once it gets dark Saturday night that the chance of rain will only increase. The record high, by the way, on Saturday is 75. I don't think we'll reach it now. It looks like we'll be struggling to reach 72 in most locations, but we'll see a drop of 10 degrees to 62 by Sunday afternoon. And we're back to the cool air, relatively speaking. When the high is only at 48 on Monday, some might declare it chilly again. It seems chilly again. It might be that way early next week. By the way, you can keep track of all this. You can keep the scorecard right on your app and on your iPad using the Captain Accurate Weather app with Pete Michaels Traffic. Just search the two words Captain Accurate at the App Store and Google Play. Well, my name is David Aldridge. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate, so weather doesn't surprise you. We'll see you here next time. Take care.